When I used to be at different events, listening to chiropractors throughout the years, I've been practicing for 20 years, I used to always hear chiropractors say, chiropractic chose them, or chiropractic chose you. And when I heard that, it didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time. My pragmatic, practical mind couldn't understand that. Until recently, when I recalled an experience that happened to me when I was I'd say about 10 or 11 years old. I was in the back of my mother's car, driving home from the pediatrician. We had no real knowledge of chiropractic. My family never went to chiropractors. My father maybe went to a chiropractor once with back pain. So I didn't grow up in a chiropractic family or community. And I was in the back of my mother's car because I had a cough, came back from the pediatrician, and I said, "Where are we going next?" And she said, "We're going to the pharmacy." I said, "Why?" And she said, "To get you medication." I said, "Why?" She said, "To get you a cough suppressant, to suppress your cough." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Why are you asking me why so many times?" I said, "Because doesn't my body want to get rid of something? Why on earth would you want to suppress it?" And I thought about that recently, and that is really a very powerful life experience, because at 10 or 11 years old, I already had the big idea. I already understood that the power that made the body heals the body. I just didn't know that that was chiropractic. And when I thought about that recently, I realized that, yes, chiropractic did choose me. So my life vision is that everybody in this room, including myself, we all have a totally booked practice that every man, woman, and child on this earth not only have access to chiropractic care, but they actually truly receive chiropractic care on a proactive and preventative basis, because everybody needs chiropractic. I knew it when I was 10 or 11 years old. So every day in the morning, when I wake up, I look at the bathroom mirror that have 3 things taped to it, 3 statements. One says, "Your wish is my command." And that reminds me to be thankful and grateful. Like John DeMartini says, what you think about and thank about, you bring about. And it reminds me that there's a universal intelligence that conspires always on my behalf. And that same universal intelligence runs the innate intelligence that runs every organ, every tissue, every cell of my body. The second statement is make your life extraordinary, which also reminds me that I need to be better today than I was tomorrow, but maybe not as good as the next day, than I was yesterday. To make my life truly extraordinary, to help others and serve others before they ask me to tell family members and friends that I really truly love and appreciate them, because you never get a second chance. The clock is always ticking. There are no half times or injury timeouts. You need to make your life extraordinary. You need to have a purpose. And thirdly, you can change the world. It really should read, you are changing the world. Because all of us in this room are changing the world. One adjustment, one subluxation reduction, one patient conversation at a time. We're changing the world. But it's happening a little bit too slowly. And I'm here to help us to make it happen a little bit faster. I've been practicing in Plantation, Florida for the past 20 years, and I have people coming up to me all the time, patients, friends, family members. "Boy, you've been doing this for a long time. You seem so tired every single night. Aren't you getting a little burnt out?" Maybe some days are very difficult, and we always have challenges, and we deal with a lot of different issues every day, There's always something that goes on in the office or insurance or whatever it is. But I'm definitely not burnt out. I don't think I've ever been more fired up about chiropractic in the 20 years of my life than I am right now. I don't think there's ever been a better time to be a chiropractor. There is a huge increase in health, interest in health and wellness and fitness and nutrition. I mean, look at Whole Foods Market. Look at all these, these new food companies and products and all kinds of workouts. It's amazing what's happening. There has never been a better time to practice chiropractic and talk to patients about nutrition and exercise and rest and rejuvenation and emotional well-being and, most importantly, a healthy spine and nervous system that makes it all happen. But at the same time, I've never seen more obesity and diabetes and heart disease and other chronic degenerative diseases than ever before. So something's wrong there. However, the stage is set for chiropractic to come right in and become the #1 healthcare choice. Regardless of big pharma and big food and the American Medical Association, they have all the big money. But we don't need that. We just need an army of chiropractors all getting the message out there in an eloquent and professional way. See, there's a lot of great leaders here and great speakers, and we are creating change. We're creating change to make the world a better place, but again, I think it's happening too slow. My great friend Gary Trupo, chiropractor, we went to school together. He and I have a mission and a purpose to get to that 18% tipping point so that we can become that new, unstoppable movement, force, the #1 healthcare choice in the world. And we feel it's a game-changing concept and mission. And what we realized was that the power of the written word is still as strong today as it was in ancient times. Regardless of if you're using a computer or reading a book, it's still the written word. And we've come up with a very easy way to become a published author, creating increased visibility, credibility, influence, and clout in your community. You see, from ancient times to modern history, the written word has been the most powerful form of communication. It started out with the hieroglyphics, the Torah scrolls, the Bible, Dee Dee's Green Books, modern-day classics, celebrity books. They've all made a tremendous impact and have always changed the world. The latest statistics show that entrepreneurs, and we are entrepreneurs as chiropractors when we look at it from a practical basis. I know there's a lot of philosophy here today, but you also have to know how to combine that philosophy with business. And entrepreneurs today are 6 times as likely right now to write books than they were 6 years ago. So it works. Having a book is like the secret sauce to all of your marketing. It makes everything better. Whoever here does talks, seminars, screenings, health events, whatever it is, it's always better with a book. It's always better being able to sign your book after the event. It makes everything more powerful because people assume that if you have a book, you are the expert. Referral sources, such as local gyms, mattress stores, nutrition stores, all would rather refer to you because you're the authority in town. Now, Gary and I have actually come up with a full report of the 28 best ways to utilize your book and your status as an author to get literally a ton of new patients, have much better patient retention, and get a lot of referrals. But we obviously don't have the time today to go over all those 28 ways, so we're just going to go over the first. And it's the simplest and one of the most effective. Just have your book done, have your staff members hand out the book to every single new patient that comes through your office. And you should see the wow factor, what happens when you hand a new patient a copy of your book. Wow, doc, that's you. I can't believe you wrote this book. That's unbelievable. Can you please sign it for me? And I tell doctors to get Sharpies because you're going to sign their books and add that personal touch. Now your status goes from local chiropractor to celebrity chiropractor. And then an interesting phenomenon happens. Patients will actually ask, can I buy some copies of your book? Because I want to give them to some friends, family members, and coworkers. And of course, I teach, don't sell it, gift it. That's how we're serving, gift it. It solves a huge problem. I'm sure most of your patients love you, and you have an army of patients that would do anything for you. And they would love to refer to you, but you wonder why you're not getting the referrals. And the reason being, they don't know how to articulate chiropractic as well as we do. They don't know how to communicate chiropractic as well as we do. The book does it for them. So now, you get exponentially more patients in your office because you've gifted the books. Another interesting phenomenon is, how many people in here have ever thrown a book away? A book never gets thrown away. It ends up maybe on a coffee table, on a bookshelf, on your desk. But when was the last time you threw away a business card? When was the last time you threw away brochures? Probably today. Some of the vendors here. But you won't throw away a book, I guarantee it. It doesn't happen. So who do you think the person with no prior knowledge of chiropractic would go to for their chiropractic care? The doctor that wrote the book or the doctor that did not? Or who do you think patients would be more comfortable referring to? The doctor that wrote a book, or if the doctor didn't write a book? And for that matter, referral sources, like other healthcare practitioners, possibly attorneys if you do personal injury work. Who do you think they would be more comfortable referring to? The doctor that wrote the book, or the doctor that did not? It makes them look good, actually, because they're working with the expert doctor. So in the real world, statistical-wise, we have found that for every 7 to 10 books that we get out into the community, we generate a new patient. It's an amazing, getting a book done is an amazing return on investment. Dr. LaMarche here met me at the FCA convention. That's how I'm here today. And he walked up to our booth and he said, I love this. You know why I love this? You're teaching the world about chiropractic, but he built his successful practice in Canada, gifting over 7,000 books. That was his practice marketing. And I guarantee you, if you make the book the primary source of your practice marketing, your practice will flourish. This is how it happens. Fairly recently, I was in Starbucks. It was a busy lunchtime, very busy line. And on this particular day, I did not recognize the barista, fancy name for coffee maker, behind the counter. And I was just waiting there like everybody else. And I hear, Dr. Rob, Dr. Rob. And I looked, and it was really an awkward moment because I did not recognize this person, never saw her before. And I said, yeah, and I felt uncomfortable. I thought maybe it was an old patient, somebody I just forgot. And she said in front of everybody, how come I don't have a copy of your book? Everybody else here does. I said, wow, this is really powerful. Because what happened was, now other people in line started asking me, what did you write a book about? What do you do? I'm a chiropractor. 3 new patients from that experience. I call that passive, perpetual marketing. This happens at the bank, it happens everywhere, because people don't throw books away. So it's perpetual, it's passive because it's not in your face, but it doesn't go away. It's the gift that keeps on giving. More recently, I had new patients that came to me from Arizona, a mother and daughter. The daughter had chronic otitis media, so of course my staff asks, how did you find our office? So the mother says to my staff member, well, I went on your website. I saw that Dr. Hanopole wrote the book. I figured he must be good. I never even met her before, never spoke to her before. She didn't even really go through my website or read anything. All she did was see a 3D image of my book on my website and assumed that I was the chiropractor to see. It's marketing 101, guys. The product is what you perceive it to be. Perception is reality. And more recently, on a personal note, I had this book on my desk at home. It's called The Well-Adjusted Soul. Talk about passive and perpetual. This was on my desk probably for a year or two. I never opened it. And it's a chiropractic book. Shame on me. But one day I had this nudge to open the book. And I opened the book to the exact page that says, "Chiropractic saved my life." And I said, "Oh, that sounds interesting. I have a few minutes to relax. I'm going to read this story." Well, the story is about Jill LaMarche, who was suffering from difficulty breathing, and he had just a lot of difficulty practicing. He was tired all the time, didn't know what was wrong with him. To make the long story short, he thought he had allergies, asthma. He was doing albuterol between patients. I mean, that's how bad it was. What chiropractor does that? It must have been terrible. Finally, he goes to a cardiologist and gets a diagnosis of primary pulmonary hypertension, a death sentence. He was told, "You need a double lung and heart transplant." I don't know if you knew this about Jill. Double lung and heart transplant. He looks pretty healthy now, doesn't he? He said in the story that he was ready to move on. He was at peace. And he was sleeping one night, and like a metaphorical lightning bolt struck him. "Jill, you're a chiropractor. Are you getting adjusted enough? You tell everybody the chiropractic story, above, down, inside out, how the power that made the body heals the body. The nervous system controls and coordinates every single organ, every single tissue, every single cell of your body. Are you following that? Are you getting adjusted?" He was getting adjusted maybe once a month. So he made a commitment to go to a chiropractor on a regular basis as a regular patient, get his x-rays taken, and the x-rays revealed that his cervical spine was beautiful, his lumbar spine was beautiful, but his upper thoracic spine was a complete mess. We all know where the nerves travel to when you have the upper thoracic spine, don't we? Heart and lungs. He started getting adjusted daily, and his primary pulmonary hypertension went to near normal. And he's in great shape today. Now, that's the power of chiropractic. But the power of this book is that, I still get chills when I think about this, but 1 week prior to me opening up this book that sat on my desk for a year or two, whatever it was, my 84-year-old father was diagnosed with primary pulmonary hypertension. And I opened up right to that story. And if you guys don't think that there's a power that really controls everything and conspires on our behalf, you're wrong. And the public is wrong, and they need what we have. Because I started adjusting my father every single day after I read that story. And he now is breathing okay. He walks without a walker. And for the first time in like a year, he went to go play cards with the guys. 84 years old. Chiropractic still works. Chiropractic still has a huge impact. And Thursday, I was on the plane, coming here, sitting next to a woman. She seemed very nice, but honestly, I was really tired, and I had no interest in socializing or making my life extraordinary at that moment. So I fell asleep for 2 hours. I was exhausted, only to wake up to hear the pilot say, "We have to divert the plane to Savannah, Georgia, because of bad weather." So we got to Savannah, I'm sitting on the plane, and I started speaking to her. And she asked me what I do. I said, well, I'm a chiropractor. She said, oh, yeah, I used to go to chiropractor for some neck pain and back pain. I said, you know, chiropractic is a lot more than that. We really help save people's lives. She said, oh, how do you do that? I said, well, it's all here in my book. And I gave her a copy of my book, and you should have seen her eyes light up. Oh, my God, you're an author. Wow. Can you sign the book for me? Where do you practice? I said, chiropractic can help you with a lot of things. Tell me about yourself. She said she was a cancer survivor, and she's very involved in the breast cancer movement. And she said, wow, with everything that you're telling me, I want to come and see you because I want my nervous system to function properly. I want to be healthier. I understand it. I get it. Because she said, I did a lot of things that my medical doctors didn't want me to do. And I did a lot with using my mind and visualization. I said, well, you need chiropractic also. So she made an appointment in my office. And after she made the appointment in my office, she said, I want to share something with you. She said, I wrote a book too. A Walking Miracle, Stage 4 breast cancer survivor's story of courage, faith, and determination. I couldn't believe it. I gave her my book, and she gave me hers. And she said, would you come and speak at some events that I'm giving? Because I'm very involved in helping women with breast cancer. I said, of course I will. So she made an appointment in my office, and now I'm going to meet other women and help them. We're going to work on their nervous systems. I'm going to speak to them about how the nervous system can help them as long as it's normalized. Helps you with everything. And that was the power of the book. It's amazing. And I just couldn't believe that she wrote a book also. And then we discussed a charity that she's putting together for women with breast cancer, and now she wants me to get involved with that. We actually named it on the plane, and we called it Pink Angels, and we're going to work on that together. So remember, you want to make a huge impact. We want to change the world. We want to reach that 18% to become that new and unstoppable movement and force. A book will help you to do that. These books help doctors to do that. Multiply having a book by thousands of chiropractors handing out 7,000 books like Jill did. And look at the impact that we would have on this world. Do you think that we would make changes a lot faster? So remember, your wish is my command. Speak to Gary or myself out in the exhibit hall there. We could teach you how to get published. It's a lot easier than you think. Make your life extraordinary and become a leader. Become the expert author in your community. Raise your standards. Raise who you are in your community. You have the tools now to change the world. That's my life vision, to totally book our practices. Will you join me? Thank you.